and by powerful people, I mean the feds, okay? I don't know about you, but I'm starting to wonder if every major publicly traumatizing event may have actually just been organized by the feds. And rather than blaming themselves, the strategy that they always employ is to get out a narrative, a sloppy narrative, like we saw this time with the Charlie Kirk assassination. That is one thing that I will say is so amazing. The only thing that has been amazing about the Charlie Kirk assassination is that it has brought the left and the right together. And what I mean by that is typically we're ready to take the Fed slop. This time it was the messages, obviously. And they're like, oh, my dad's MAGA. He was MAGA-ing too hard. And the left was supposed to go, see, it's his dad's fault. MAGA's bad. And then the right was supposed to go, look, he trans person bad. This time, though, we all went, this is too evil. It feels orchestrated. And do you guys always do this? Like, is this what you guys do? That definitely, now that I'm reflecting, and I am including myself in this, that was kind of my old vibe, left or right. That was definitely the vibe of January 6th, right? We all took the bait. Just own it, okay? If you're a lefty, own it. You were like, MAGA is bad. If you're on the right, own it. We were like, the left is bad. They're overthrowing an election. We did it. On January 6th, 2020, I can tell you where I was. I was 9 months pregnant, my first child, and I was super MAGA at this time. I would have definitively gone to this Stop the Steal rally, but I was just too pregnant to go. And I was living in DC, so it was just down the street from me. And I reflect on that and I think, wow, that saved me, because I could have been swept up in what happened on January 6th. I could have been there. We all know how the story goes. Trump hosts this speech. He has this rally. And then afterward, people, quote unquote, storm the Capitol, break through the barriers, and there's an insurrection. And CNN is showing these clips and the footage. And it's funny for me, especially because I was right up the road. And as a resident of DC, literally living there. And I was thinking how strange it was. I'm sitting on the couch with my husband and we start getting all these phone calls like from my sisters and family members asking if we're okay. And we didn't have the news on and we're like, yeah, we're okay. So strange that you're calling. We don't even hear any noise. And it was actually the first time that there was peace in DC, meaning it was the summer of BLM riots. So it was strange that we never got called when people's cars were getting smashed and things were being burned to the ground. But suddenly we were getting phone calls because the media was there, you know, right there. MAGA's gone too far. And they were showing all of this footage and it was out of place, right? Now, I knew instantly as a DC resident that the feds were involved because of the pipe bombs. That was it. I knew they were involved when I heard that pipe bombs were mysteriously dropped off the night before at the DNC headquarters, RNC headquarters. And we just don't know who did that because I live there and it's the Capitol. So every square inch, there's a camera. You just can't do that. You can't just get away from being a couple of blocks away from the White House and dropping off pipe bombs, right? Anyways, this weekend, after 5 long years, finally, the person, and I'll say allegedly, because I guess we're going to have to wait for the feds to dispute this, but the person responsible for dropping off those pipe bombs was revealed to be a Fed, more specifically, a 31-year-old woman and a United States Capitol Police officer named Shawnee Ray Kirkuff, right? A reporter named Steve Baker, which deserves all of the credit on this amazing discovery. And I'm going to let you listen to Glenn Beck, who is interviewing Steve Baker, to tell you about how he came across this footage and how that went down.
When I stumbled on what I stumbled on, and because as I said, I've been pulling these threads for years, and I pulled one last Wednesday, 2 weeks ago today, rather. And when I pulled this thread, I was so shocked by what I saw, I immediately took it to a source in one of the most important, highest level investigative federal agencies in the country. I immediately took it to our sources there, and I said, you have to see this. After they looked at it for about 2 hours, the response that I got back was, holy F. And then the follow-up response was, she's one of us.
And when you find out the position I mean, this is going to lead, it's not just this one person. This now will implicate so many people at the highest levels that had to have known because of what happened after January 6th.